and if I don't make it public, I'm not gonna probably do it. So, I'm gonna do this thing. Very interesting. KGB always tells me something interesting. KGB always tells me something interesting. So I'm gonna try to synthesize what the dude said in my own words about this game that we looked at a couple days ago. And then, if there's time, interest, energy, I want to look at this kid Sindarov's games who has gone on. He's going to go on to the third round, man. He's going to the third round. So that's what I'm doing. And if you're interested in suffering, welcome to the ride, my friends. Okay, so here's the position I talked about before. At certain points, I'm going to turn on the computer. I didn't know anything really about this opening. I think there's some new Chessable course on this. Maybe the kid I'm playing was inspired by the course. I had no idea. I just knew that A6 was not a developing move, in all honesty. That's the only thing I knew. Let me move this a little bit. Okay. So. All right. Here we go. So Bishop G5. This whole thing. KGB approved of all this message that I did. Approved of this message. Approved of that message. Approved of that message. And this was not the most common move. Though I do like it, and I believe if I'm going to look at the database, let's look at the database real quick. I think B4 was the most common move. I did look at the database briefly before. Knight A4, B1, there's not that many games. Yeah, so Jeffrey Zhang played Knight G5. A couple other people played Knight A4. Really not too many games. Okay, so Knight G5. The kid played Knight H5. Zhang's opponent played Knight E8. So this is technically the novelty. Let's check the computer. So white should have the advantage, but black is solid. Let's put it that way first. Daster. Hi, buddy. I'm glad to see you here, man, because I was worried that after they banned you from Chess Kid. Once you get banned from Chess Kid, man, you're going to be put on a registry or something, you know. So I'm happy to see you here. Let's put I just want to see Stockfish's opinion about this, both this position and what white should do. It's saying rook AC1, rook FE1. I don't like rook FE1 or A3. It's not even thinking Knight G5. Not even thinking it. Uh-oh. Actually, yeah, you guys can't see. How do I get rid of these bars here? Darn it. That's such a drag. Man. Gotta like move the... Oh, gosh. So much annoying things here. There we go. I kind of moved it around. I don't know if that's going to help. I want to get rid of, if anybody knows how to get rid of all this little pain. Darn, it's so annoying. I hate dealing with this garbage. Status bar? No. The hell is the status bar? Damn. Oh gosh, now I just ruined everything. Oh man. I don't know what the status bar was. I'll put the status bar back. Jeez, this ChessBase is, dude, it's like so user unfriendly. And can someone tell me how to get rid of this nasty thing? No one can tell me. No, I don't want the evaluation. Jeez, get off of me. This stupid thing gosh. It used to not be here. That's all I know. This little stupid pane, it used to not be here, and now I can't get rid of it. I can make it, I can do that. There we go. All right, I got rid of it. Maybe that's the way to go. Yeah, someone needs to make an alternative to the chess spaces, no doubt. Okay, so I played knight g5. The computer does not like it, but KGB was fine with knight g5. So knight g5. Knight h5. The computer likes this move that my opponent did, which was technically the novelty. And now my computer's being a real jerkhead. And I played f4. Knight g7, okay. Queen f2, everything's okay. And now here's an interesting position. So KGB felt very strongly that f5 by my opponent here was a big mistake. So actually, let's write it in here. And I'm going to turn off the computer for a second. So home, let's just turn this guy off for a second, because I want to do the human variations, and I'll ask the computer in a couple spots. So KGB felt this was a massive mistake and that black is doomed after it. Very interesting. Yeah. So I didn't criticize f5, mostly because it seemed like this was the kid's intention, and kind of like, especially the way he presented it after the game, that it was something that he kind of a setup that he was already familiar with. Whereas KGB is like, no, this is terrible. So, let's, but I don't know, you know, like the computer wants knight f6, the KGB was trying out bishop f5. Let's write it out here. So this was the move KGB tried out, but bishop e2, e4, and bishop f5 / g4 all look promising for white. Comp wants knight f6, which is of course strange due to g4. Okay. Chess Doc, how you doing, buddy? Doomed, that's right. KGB is schooling me, man. Yeah, he felt this was a disaster move, f5. And he was not upset with rook ac1. I felt like this was the beginning of me playing incorrectly, and it's okay. So let me try to put in words what KGB felt here. So my take when I analyzed this by myself was that I should play immediately knight f3, e5. And let's just write this out here. So KGB was not in a rush to play knight e5 because he felt black's only chance at surviving would be to take the thing. So let him wait on d7. Okay. So in that case, rook ac1 is a natural move. And yeah, let's write it out. So in which case rook ac1 is a natural move. And we wait for knight f6 before committing to knight f3. So rook ac1 technically fine in his eyes. Knight a4 also fine in his eyes. And here I probably want to play, he wants me to play knight f3. This guy's a genius, man. This guy's a full-on genius, bro. Schooling me. So, right. Okay, it's making sense. Is KGB's move. I get it. Exclam. Okay. He's mostly retired. He still plays a little bit. He wouldn't like me calling him KGB, but he also didn't want to be known. So if you don't want to be known, I'm going to give you a name like KGB. I got to give you some kind of name. So, bishop c8, knight f3, and then, so here's the position I was worried about. Knight e4, bishop takes, pawn takes, knight e5, g5, g4. And so I was worried about this position. KGB, on the other hand, no, he's just like really believing in the beautiful knight on e5. So this is one of the key positions, even with or without KGB, that I wanted to ask the computer. Chess games might know who he is. The chess games don't say anything, buddy. Don't say anything. I don't know how you would know. Oh, look at that. Wow, comp loves my position, dude. Wow, and oh no, now it changed its mind. See, that's exactly the kind of garbage I was thinking about. Let me just say, this was very hard to judge. So the computer telling me stuff, I don't know how much it means. Very hard position to judge, but exactly some kind of thing where he plays b6 and knocks me out is the kind of thing I was worried about. And I wrote, I don't see anything concrete for black here, but I'm nervous. So right, let's say b6, knight b3. My knight, I don't like my knight. Bishop b7, fair enough. We do move, please. Can you move? Bishop b7, thank you. There we go, zeros. Comp says zeros. Okay, so I think what we're gonna say here is that knight c5, well, okay, here's the other thing. In addition to, right, knight c5 is the real problem. Well, no, and see, the computer still loves knight c5. I like knight f3, even, so all right, let's see. Knight c5, bishop c8, knight f3 as played, and then is there a catastrophic reason knight e4 doesn't work? I felt like this was the guy's only shot. Bishop takes, okay, let's go, boss. Bishop takes, pawn, knight. All right, so what's wrong with g5? Oh, fascinating. Okay, check this out, you guys. So I didn't know what was going to happen in this position. I saw this during the game and also in the post game. And G4 KGB was like, well, maybe you can play this way. But then he schooled me on this variation, which is what the computer wants, Queen G3. And if this thing ever moved, I shouldn't say schooled. I mean, yeah, it happened exactly like this. It went boom. It really was amazing, Eric. It really was amazing. Chess base, boss, you got to stop crashing on me, man. You got to stop crashing on me. You got to move and groove it. And so we went this, rook f8, and then this was the position we got. Amazing. Queen h4, and he was feeling good about this position, and I was not like 100% here. I don't know why this thing is not letting me move. It's being a real jerk face. But anyways, let's see if I can, oh man, okay, here we go. So, KGB, this chess space is a terrible, terrible thing, dude. I'm the only one too. Like everybody else is like, I love chess space. It doesn't work, dude. Okay, thought this position was pleasant. Those are his words. For white, I wasn't sure. Comp says clear advantage. Fascinating. Yeah, we had this very position. I'm going to turn off the kibitzer because it's being a jerk. We had this very position in our analysis. So, yeah, me and KGB were agreed that this was a terrible move for my opponent. And he just despised Black's position here. Now, it's interesting. I gave a lecture that I think will come out in a little bit, and I talked about this position where I showed it to the U.S. chess school, and I'll just say what I said there, which was that when I got here to this position in the game, I felt good about it, but I didn't necessarily feel like Black was doomed. Then I analyzed it afterwards, and I really felt like Black was doomed. In particular, it's so hard for him to play c5. And, you know, so I ended up playing g4 in the game, and I was a little suspicious of it, especially on a practical level. Like, I didn't find anything wrong with the move g4, but on a practical level, I kind of was a little bit upset by it because it seemed more complicated than maybe I should have done. And I was motivated, I felt like, by the wrong reasons, which is I was kind of worried that if I gave Black time, he would end up playing c5, right? Organize some kind of c5 to open the position over there. Then in the post game, I was like, oh no, man, it's so hard for him ever to actually do anything. And if he does open stuff, the knight is still dominant. The knight's still dominant over there. So first of all, wait, we got to say a3 came first, then bishop d5, which isn't impressive, but it's hard to know what he should do. Anyway, so then in this position, this was actually, the position I gave the kids, and I said, should I play g4 or queen d2? And, you know, the KGB has been mad at me in the past by making things more complicated than I should, but he was all in on what I did with g4. And in particular, like, he was like, you know, maybe in terms of g4, maybe you might want to play a preparatory move first, like king h2, but as long as it works, then that's what you should do, right? So yeah, he was all in on g4. And it's interesting because for him, this was just like, no, Black does not have, because my knight is so powerful, I will be able to win on the king side just on a principled level way. And I shouldn't be worried about my king, because that's the drawback of g4. Pawns don't go backwards, right? They don't go backwards, man. Those pawns don't get backwards. So it was like, for me in the post game, in my own post game, I was like, I don't know. I feel a little bit nervous about g4. But dude was all in. Daster's still talking about why he's banned permanently from chesskid.com, man. I'm worried, dude. If you're going to be put on a registry, Daster, I don't know if we want you in the chat here, bud. You could infect us all, man. I don't want to be put on any registry. I say all kinds of bad things here, man. I'm worried I'm going to be put on a registry too, buddy. I'm worried then that if they start looking into you, they're going to find me and the things that I say. Yeah, but you gotta stop driving that white van around, buddy. Yep. Okay. That's right, gratify. Okay, so anyways, dude was fine with this. And then we get this position, and he was in love with everything that happens here. But then it seems, and then I was like, okay, we're about to wrap this analysis up, me and KGB. A5, Queen F4. But then, I think he schooled me, man, here later. Check this out. So, snip, snip, King F2. This is how the game went. H5, snip, King E3. King H5, Knight D7, King G4, Knight C5, B5. And now, okay, and now, Knight B7 is what he wanted. A4, Knight D6. We're going to say with a Zugzwang. Okay, wait. I'm going to say KGB's variation with a clean Zugzwang and win. So in order to understand this, you got to see what I did. So I, like a naive fool, was like, pawns are great, and I took this thing. And then he's trying to tell me that maybe I've already blown it here. Wait a second. Let's just pause for a second. Yeah. Maybe. So I played 96. I'm just thinking right at the moment if Knight C3 would have been maybe more clever. Okay, so we might come. I'm just going to need to show you guys the problem before I get into this, but I'm just going to put that Knight C3 as just a variation. So I did check, and King E6 was played. After King E6, I think I'm winning clearly because of boom, Knight A6, Knight C7, D5, and it's all over. However, let me make sure I get this right. Haha. Wait a sec. God, this is complicated for me. 594, King F5, Knight D6, King F6. Maybe this is the same. Knight B7. Here. Knight C5. God, this KGB saw all this so fast too. It's like, what? What's going on? King, like G6, he needs to lose a move. I do something like this. This happens. This happens. This happens. Thank you for following. All right, and this position is surprisingly difficult. Dude, KGB is an endgame genius. He saw this instantly. Now I want to make sure I get his variation proper here. So, right. So, wait a second. Now, here we go. Oh, crap. Really, it's here. So King F5 is this natural human move, but King F6 is really, right, that's the way it should go. So Knight A6, King A5, Knight B4, King G4, exclam. So we're gonna say this was, even if the computer ends up finding something for me after this, that this was definitely the way for black to try to give me grief. Yeah. This dude is definitely Russian. Okay. So, two questions. First of all, we're going to say this is a mistake. Even if we find a win, it's a mistake because it gets me into this position where if I had just done this, it's like so much cleaner, so much cleaner. There's no King G3 because of F5. If he moves the bishop, I play King takes E4, and I'm penetrating with the king. So the question is then, can I find a win on my own after King F6? And then second question is, after I can't find a win on my own, can I find a win with the computer? I don't know, my friends. Okay, we can put the knight on G3, go here, here, here. King G4, and then what? Problem is, whenever you push F5, okay, black plays King G5, and then you got a what then question. Okay, knight F1, King F5. Whether it's knight F1 or knight E2, we're going to play King F5. Right? Oh, my friends, this was